Well, hi everyone, and welcome to this edition of ExecuNet Masterclass. I'm your host, Tony Vlahos, and my guest this hour is Executive Transition Coach and author Gordon Curtis. How well connected you are can make all the difference in your business and in your career. But the usual approaches like meet as many people as possible and amass huge numbers of, quote, connections and friends through your social media networks, let's face it, they rarely produce more than a handful of relationships that actually pay off. Well, today Gordon will provide a framework to help you achieve your goals by selectively engaging the right people and connecting well with them. Pretty important stuff, and part of our commitment here at ExecuNet to connect you with higher value thinking that can elevate your work, your career, and today's presenter. Gordon Curtis is a leading executive transition coach who's helped hundreds of top executives achieve business and career success. Gordon has served as Director of Career Services and Alumni Relations at Boston College Graduate School of Management and is an account executive at Wright Management Consulting. He was an executive search consultant before that for around 10 years. A sought-after speaker, Gordon has been featured in major media, including Financial Times, Wall Street Journal, Business Week, Fox News, Washington Post, Fast Company, and the list is endless, as they say. He's also, of course, the author of a new book titled Well Connected, An Unconventional Approach to Building Genuine Effective Business Relationships. Welcome, Gordon, to the ExecuNet stage. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Tony. I really appreciate it, particularly with ExecuNet because it's near and dear to my heart. I've been following ExecuNet and benefiting from it for years, and so have my clients, and it's just an amazing organization, and I really applaud what you guys are doing. So thank you. So I'd like to begin by just asking you whether or not you've heard the phrase, whoever dies with the most connections wins, right? Well, actually, no. Social networking and media sites have lulled us into a false sense of security that the bigger our networks, the more we are networking. And I don't know about you, but I don't know if you've noticed that fewer people are reaching out to fewer people for help, and the fact that our networks digitally are getting so big that we are beginning to become overwhelmed with the amount of information and the number of connections that we have. And so I'd like to really focus in on how we're going to talk about social networking. And I really look at it as, how do we ask for help? And what is the most efficient and effective way to ask for help on a one-to-one basis, rather than in a mass media manner? So yes, I'll tell you more about Well Connected and all, but just a little bit more about you come across as being too self-interested. I mean, we all know reciprocity is important, but how do you really turn the volume on reciprocity? Versus, can I just pick your brain for leads, which I get all the time. And so what I find is that there's two things, is that we need to do a needs assessment of the critical enabler. And it's amazing if you really look at a critical enabler's business or their job, everybody needs something. And it could be talent, resources, intelligence, research. If we really just do an assessment of what they could possibly need, and then inventory our own reciprocity currency, you may be very surprised to see that you're sitting on resources that are dormant in your own network, in your computer, that are just waiting to be used as progressively reciprocal gesture. And to be able to approach someone to say, listen, you could totally help me. You've got all these connections in companies that I want to have access to, but I will feel way better about asking you for help if I can figure out how I can help you first. Humor me. Even if I can't. I really want to try. So tell me, what do you need? And even if we can't come up with something material, if the gesture is genuine enough and sincere enough, we will have differentiated ourselves from virtually 99% of the people that are approaching them with the obligatory reciprocal gesture that follows, here's what I need, and oh, and let me know if I can help you. It's that hollow statement that, and you could just tell that that someone is approaching you with that, obligatory reciprocal gesture. And so it's a mindset that I'm going to be, instead of on my knees asking for help, I'm going to figure out a way to help this person, and to be material with it. So I've helped clients to approach critical enablers that they don't even know on LinkedIn. One case was an attorney who was in the publishing industry, and this critical enabler said to him, listen, I know you have access to the agents that I'm looking for. You don't know me. I see that we are 2 degrees away. However, I happen to know lots of authors, and I understand you represent authors, and I'd love to know how I might be able to introduce authors to you, and if I can help you, then I would feel better about asking for help from you, and perhaps you would feel better about knowing me. And sure enough, the attorney returned his in-mail immediately, because it's like, wow, I haven't been approached like this before with someone leading with an offer before an ask, and it can be subtle but very powerful.